How's it going today, guys? Sorry I haven't got back to you in a while. I'm especially sorry that I didn't get to post any grouse hunting videos. I ran into some financial problems, and so I couldn't, quite get all the gear I needed. But that really isn't the big season. In Vermont, I hunted a little bit when I was home, but I wasn't very successful just because they got a lot of snow early, and the grouse population was really down because it was so cold and everything. So if I did give you some videos, it probably wouldn't have been very eventful. So I'm focusing more on number one, May shotgun turkey season. I'm gonna get some tom turkeys for you guys, and my fishing, because fishing is gonna be the biggest part of this deal. I'm hoping that that is gonna be the most successful aspect of it. I'm bringing you live from my residence here in South Dakota, but I thought I would bring you guys a new video just to give you kind of an idea of what the fishing is going to be like. Um, so I guess start with a little background. Like I said in my other video, I've been fly fishing since I was 6 years old. I also do MEPS fishing. I fish in rivers, fish in streams. Sometimes I fish in lakes. That's really not been my thing. Though, I mean, like my dad's family all was into bass fishing, but quite frankly, sitting in a boat all day is kind of not my thing. I'd rather be out walking around, falling down and doing stupid shit. So, um, like I said, I've grown up in rivers, and I'm gonna bring you all over Vermont. I'm gonna try to get you some looks, more at the bigger rivers. Like I'm gonna be fishing in the Connecticut River. I'm not gonna tell you exactly where because a true angler doesn't tell you his secrets. I have a lot of them, but I will definitely show you the spots, what they look like, kind of what to look for. How to approach them is going to be the big thing. I'm trying to get some information into this as much as showing you techniques. I just want to get what to look for beginners or whatever. I know that a lot of people my age, especially kids these days, don't get into something like fly fishing um, for whatever reasons. But I'm trying to promote it just because it's been such a big part of my life, and I want to get that aspect of it. But I'm going to be bringing you to a bunch of different places. I'm going to be bringing you to bigger rivers. I'm going to be bringing you to smaller rivers, fast moving, slow moving, fishing for different types of fish, using different techniques, different kinds of flies. Definitely going to get some MEPS in there, some spinners. I'm going to bring a few people on. My cousin, my dad. My dad has only been fly fishing. I actually got him into fly fishing about 7 years ago. So I'm going to bring him on. My sister, she's 16 now. She's been fly fishing for a couple of years, so I want to get her in there. And also, just my friends or whatever, us going, because I like, fishing with other people because, not a lot of my friends do this stuff, so I've kind of always done it by myself. Um, so I'm going to be bringing people in, and I'm going to be showing you some techniques. Just to give you a little preview, though, mostly what I fish for are trout, rainbows, browns, sometimes brookies. Usually the bigger rivers don't have a lot of them in there, which is sad because I love catching those. But because they're smaller and they don't really survive with the bigger species of fish where I'm fishing, there's 19, 20, 21-inch browns and 3, 4 pound rainbows. I've caught some monster fish, and they're just not going to live in the same area as rookies. So, obviously we can't do it all. We can't have your cake and eat it too, but catch a fish, and it's fun. So like I said, I'm bringing you dry fly, which is, personally, I only do dry flying in the beginning of the season, late May, early June. Number one, that's when most of the hatches are. The caddis flies, all those that the trout love, they go crazy over. So that's really when I do the majority of my dry flying, as far as during the day. Um, at night, any time of the summer, I'll dry fly. Just the problem with dry flying is every kind of fish in the river goes after dry flies. I mean dace, I mean perch, I mean everything. So the fact is that unless you're dry flying in a really, really heavy trout population, which aren't a lot of rivers around Vermont, because a lot of rivers around Vermont do support other types of fish. So we just kind of want to be careful because you're trying to dry fly, you're gonna be getting the little dace, they just suck your fly into water and you're like, oh, because you think it's another fish. Anyways, so mostly what I fish with are nymphs. Um, Nymphs are really effective, just because that when you're fishing in faster moving water, dry flies don't work because they sink. You know, they're they're light as soon as they go on top of the water, and they hit those rapids. right under the water, then they're done. Then you got to pull them right out, dry them off, throw them back out there for 5 seconds, and then woof, they're right back underwater again. So I'm fishing with nymphs mostly. Depending on what kind of river I'm fishing in, what kind of season it is, definitely makes a difference. So I'm going to be showing you that aspect of it and trying to make sense of it just so you guys really know what I'm doing. So that's a big part of it. And then I'm also going to be showing you some streamer fishing. Streamers is kind of like MEMS fishing because you're using actually a sinking line, which I do fish with sometimes. But I also use sinkers a lot on the dry line. But before I take you out, I'm going to show you, kind of the basics, what I'm using, blah, blah, blah. But I thought I would just kind of give you some basics for those of you that are going to watch this and maybe want to try it before I get my first video out. So probably the basics are, if you're going to be fishing in the river, at the beginning of the season, that water's cold. It's, 55, 60 degrees. That's what the trout like. When the water's between 55 and 65 degrees, that's when their metabolism is the highest. Once it gets up over above 70, really, they kind of go dormant and they lay down and they don't really do a lot. And catching them is really bad for them. So between 55, 65 degrees is when you really want the water after a fresh rainfall. Light is going to be the best time to get out there. So I would recommend a nice pair of waders or hip boots, either one. There are places you can fish on the bank, but from my experience, if you can get on the bank, the other 50 people can get on the bank. And if those other 50 people can get on the bank, they're going to fish from the bank. So in my experience, it's the places that you're willing to trudge to that other people aren't where you're going to be successful. And I remember that when I was fishing, I used to beat through brush and hike through swamps and stuff, but once I got to the river, I hammered them, whereas other people were sitting on the bank, catching minnows. I was throwing out 14, 15, 16-inch trout, and trophy-size fish, because that's where they're going to go. So I would recommend a nice pair of waders. Also, I would recommend a vest or some other kind of pack to carry stuff like extra tippet, which I'll show you what that is. You're going to need to carry extra flies, because you lose flies, everybody does. The pros on TV lose flies, believe it or not. They don't show it, but they do. I would carry a thing of pliers, just because, I fish catch and release most of the time, and catch I catch a monster, and then I take it home for trophies. But, other than that, I'm really, really fishing for catch and release. So pliers, so you don't hurt the fish when you pull them out. Let's see, a net. You're going to need a net because fly fishing is really hard to just yank them up out of the water because that tippet is not very strong. So I'm going to recommend a net. Definitely some cutters. You don't need to go out and buy some fancy pliers. If you go out and you buy a pair of nail clippers, those will work fine. That's what I use, nail clippers. I'd wear a hat. When it's sunny, you don't want the sun beating down on you, so wear a nice, ball cap or whatever. I always do. And sunglasses. Sunglasses are a big thing for me. I always wear sunglasses for two reasons. Number one, standing over the river with the sun glaring on your eyes is really bad for them if you're doing it for lengthy amounts of time. So sunglasses, a big thing for safety. Also, it takes the glare off the water so you can see in the water. You can see the holes, you can see the bottom, you can see what the terrain's like when you're walking in it. You can see where you're stepping. Polarized glasses are what I wear, but they're really expensive. They really, really allow you to see right down to the bottom, but you don't need those. You just need a pair of sunglasses that'll help you take the glare off the water. Also, just for some safety things, I always carry water with me and, a granola bar or something, just in case something happens. I have some food. I carry a knife with me, a Leatherman, Swiss Army, always, and I carry waterproof matches, definitely, and a lighter, just in case I get caught, Besides the fact that sometimes I like to enjoy a cigar when I'm on the river, I also have it in case I get stuck and I need to start a fire and whatnot. But definitely, have some safety things. You're definitely going to want extra line. And if you can get it, an extra reel would be really good because you never know. You fall, you smash a reel, day's over. Not exactly. If you have another reel, you can string it up real quick and you're fine. So those are just some basic things I'd carry, just in case you're trying to get out. But my biggest thing is, I've gone on YouTube, I've watched videos of people trying to give tips and everything, which is good that they do, but there's two big things that I really look for when I'm fishing. Number one is if you can see fish in the water, they can see you. And they're smart. They're not stupid. They're not going to bite if they can see you. So you got to be smart. You got to make sure your body isn't casting shadows on the water. You got to make sure that you're not standing right over the hole. You got to kind of sneak up to it, which I'll explain more when we start fishing. The second big thing is sound. Everybody's like, be quiet when you're fishing. There's pros and cons to that statement. Number one, you're right. When you walk in the water, when you're trudging through the water, slosh, 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 that gives off vibrations. Fish has what they call a lateral line. They pick up those vibrations in the water, which is pretty much like our sense of touch. They know that you're there, and you're not supposed to be there. It's just like deer hunting, or, whatever. If you're in your kitchen, right, and your mom comes home from work and says, hey, Mike, where are you? And you say, I'm right here, she's going to know that you're in the kitchen just because it's her house. Well, it goes the same when you're in the river. When you're in the river and they feel you, they can understand, they know exactly where you are. They know where you're going, and they know you don't belong there. They don't know what you are, but they know that you don't belong there. Right? If you go into a store and you see a dude with a gun and a mask, you know he ain't supposed to be there like that. Are you going to run in and shake his hand? No. But as far as talking, raising your voice, fish can't hear you. I can stand next to the river and yell. They will never hear me. And if you don't believe me, dive in a pool and swim all the way down to the bottom. Have somebody stand outside the pool and yell and see if you can hear them underwater. You can't. Okay? So that's just some 2 tips to look for. Remember, I'm going to be showing you along once I get out there. But that's just some tips. I know what I'm doing. I've been doing it a long time. So hopefully I can bring you, a good look at everything and give you some experience. And I hope to meet people. I'm trying to market myself and, get in touch with people because I'd like to make this a career someday. It's a passion for me, and I know it's a passion for other people, and I'd like to extend that passion through other people. So definitely, like I said on my other videos, if you're interested in going, please shoot me an email. Please leave comments. And just let me know what you think, because I'm really, really excited about this, and I really want some opportunities. I'm going to try to market some gear from Orvis and Cabela's and stuff that I wear. That's that for this video. It's February right now, so I got about 2.5 months, 3 months before I'm back on the river bringing you more videos. Alright? So, like I said, I'm really excited to start doing this, so I hope that you guys bear with me, and you listen to me, because I kind of know what I'm talking about, even though I'm only 19 years old. I've been doing it for 13 years. I know what I'm doing. I was taught by some of the best. So, I hope you guys listen to me. Hope you guys take my advice. If not, best of luck to you. If you do, I'll try to make you successful. I'll give you the best tips that I can offer. I'll show you where to go. And I'll do the best I can to, show you how much it means to me, and I hope that you feel the same way. Okay? Alright, take it easy, guys.